Out of 107 entities audited by the Auditor General, the committee has only considered 4 entities. And I don't want to say shame on us, the House, but shame on you, Kosase.
These were the words of the Speaker of Parliament, Anita Among, on Wednesday, as she expressed disappointment and frustration at the poor delivery by some accountability committees in the House. We asked the chairperson of Parliament's Public Accounts Committee, Central Government, Medalubega Segona, what determines these committees' focus during the scrutiny.
We prioritized those that were qualified opinion, the reports that had qualified opinion entities. So I would give priority to such a report. The second would also depend on the number of queries raised. If the queries raised by the Auditor General are significant, we give that kind of report priority, and this is unwritten law.
Segona explains that while the Speaker's concerns are legitimate, the exact number of reports expected from an accountability committee cannot be determined with certainty.
The Auditor General may bring a query, one query against an entity. That one you can handle within certain minutes. The Auditor General may bring queries which require deeper interrogation, that you do not even stop at the entity. For example, if you're talking about Karuma, and he brings a report on Karuma, and Karuma has so many stakeholders, has suppliers, etc., and the suspicions go beyond the contractor or go beyond the Ministry of Works or Energy. You go beyond the entity and you investigate beyond. So nobody can tell you that averagely this is how much you can do.
The former leader of opposition in Parliament, Winnie Kiza, who also once served as a chairperson of the Local Government Committee, notes that these challenges have led to a backlog in these accountability committees.
The issue of backlog has been an issue for a long time. I know that I equally handled backlog. I was only lucky that there are some organizations that wanted to help speed up the processes of accountability.
She cautions the House on what needs to be done to improve the performance of these committees.
And I know the kind of resources that they need to ensure that they complete their work. So if all these are not given, they are bound to have this backlog again carried forward.
We turn to Segona, whose committee of 46 members presented reports from over 80 entities and shares some of the new measures the committee is to adopt to boost performance.
I think a lot more needs to be done. First of all, training, more training of the members themselves. Mainly training, because we don't want to leave issues hanging.
We picked the mind of these two on the Speaker's decision to have reports presented in an omnibus way, considering original reports from the Auditor General.
That the entities that abuse funds will make it practically difficult for us to finish within the time stipulated.
Well, in one way it can help us to reduce backlog, but I fear, or I have a fear, that some issues may never be understood. Because the Auditor General is doing this work on behalf of Parliament, and Parliament is a people's representative. The money we are talking about is people's money. So they need to know the fate of their money.
Benjamin Jumbe, NTV.
Right, Honorable Speaker.